What happens when you turn 80 and the world around you seems to quietly shift? It's not just about wrinkles or silver hair. It's about deeper changes that silently reshape how you feel in your body, how you hold on to your independence, and even how others see you. I've heard stories from women who were once vibrant, the heart of their families and communities, but one day they felt themselves starting to fade. Some have told me they began to wonder, why do I feel like I'm disappearing, even though I'm still here, still living, still me? This isn't just aging. It's an unexpected turning point, a journey full of challenges no one can escape. But here's the most important thing. Understanding what's coming can empower you to take control, live life on your terms, and keep the fire in your soul burning bright. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 harsh realities every woman faces after 80. They're not easy, but they're not the end of the road. Each reality comes with practical ways to face it, adapt, and even rise above. Think of this video as a trusted friend, guiding you through the road ahead with clarity and strength. And I want to connect with you right now. Where are you watching from? Maybe your cozy kitchen corner or your favorite armchair. Share your moment in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Together, we'll uncover what no one tells you about turning 80 and how to live more fully no matter what challenges lie ahead. Truth number 1, a weakening immune system. One morning you wake up feeling more tired than usual. You think, it's probably just age, and carry on with your day. But what if it's not just getting old? What if it's your body whispering a warning you can't afford to ignore? After 80, your body stops shouting when something's wrong, as it did in your younger years. It starts to whisper, small, subtle signs that are easy to miss if you're not paying close attention. A bit of fatigue that lingers for days, a moment of confusion during a familiar task, or a loss of appetite you chalk up to a low mood. These aren't just old age. They could be the whispers of an immune system struggling with a hidden battle. Your immune system, once a mighty army, slows down after 80. Scientists explain that white blood cells, the soldiers protecting your body, aren't as effective as they used to be. When you were younger, they were quick, sharp, and ready to attack viruses or bacteria instantly. But at this age, they're like an overworked team running low on fuel. They multiply more slowly, respond less forcefully, and sometimes miss threats until it's too late. The result? A cold you once shook off in a few days might now linger into bronchitis. A small, unnoticed cut could turn into a serious infection. I once heard about a woman in a retirement community who ignored unusual fatigue, only to end up in the hospital with an infection that could have been caught earlier. Statistics show that for those over 80, the risk of hospitalization from infections like pneumonia doubles compared to those in their 60s. A study from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention notes that older adults account for over 60% of flu-related hospital stays each year. This isn't meant to scare you. It's a reminder that the small changes in your body now demand more attention than ever. Because when your body only whispers, you have to be the one to listen. The good news is, you can support your immune system, even at this age. It's not about turning back time. It's about working with your body to help it function at its best. First, consider vaccines. I know opinions vary, but for those over 80, vaccines for flu, shingles, and pneumonia aren't just recommendations. They're a safety net. A single flu shot can cut your risk of hospitalization by up to 40%, according to health experts. They don't make you invincible, but they give your immune system extra strength to fight off threats. Next, take a look at your plate. Protein is the building block of your immune system, but many older adults don't get enough. A woman weighing 150 pounds needs about 68 to 82 grams of protein daily. That's like an egg for breakfast, a piece of chicken breast at lunch, and a cup of Greek yogurt in the evening. Add in zinc and vitamin C, the unsung heroes of immunity. You can find them in oranges, strawberries, spinach, or even a handful of cashews. A friend of mine once shared that she started adding an orange to her breakfast daily, and she noticed she caught fewer colds. A small change that made a big difference. Don't overlook your gut health. Science shows that nearly 70% of your immune system lives in your gut lining. That means what you eat doesn't just fuel your body, it fuels your defenses. Fiber-rich foods like beans, broccoli, or a bowl of oatmeal in the morning keep your gut strong. Fermented foods like yogurt or kombucha are powerful tools for boosting good bacteria. I met a woman at a community class who started drinking a small glass of kefir daily and said she felt more energetic and got sick less often. Most importantly, trust your instincts. If you feel off, more tired, more confused, or just not yourself, don't wait. Call your doctor. Talk to a loved one. It's not overreacting, it's wisdom. A friend once told me her mother ignored a loss of appetite for weeks, thinking it was just age, until a doctor found a silent infection that needed immediate treatment. Listening to your body isn't just a choice, it's the power to keep your life in your hands. Truth number 2, muscle loss, sarcopenia. One morning you try to stand up from your favorite armchair, but your legs wobble and you have to grip the armrests. You think, maybe I sat too long. But the next week, you notice it takes extra effort to climb a few stairs. This isn't clumsiness or laziness. It's a quiet sign that could change how you live forever. It's called sarcopenia, muscle loss, and it's one of the biggest challenges women face after 80. It's not dramatic like a cancer diagnosis or a heart attack, but sarcopenia silently steals your strength, turning once easy tasks, like carrying groceries or strolling through your garden, into a struggle. Sarcopenia doesn't happen overnight. It builds over years, quietly weakening your muscles. Scientists say that by age 80, you could lose 30 to 50% of your muscle mass if you don't take action to stop it. That number sounds daunting, but what's truly concerning is how it impacts your life. One fall, just a slip on the bathroom floor or a misstep on the sidewalk, can lead to a fracture, surgery, and weeks of bed rest. I heard about a woman in a small town who fell while watering her garden. That single fall led to a broken hip, surgery, and eventually a move to a nursing home. Before that, she was cooking, driving, and living independently. A small event with a massive consequence. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that over 30% of people over 80 fall at least once a year, and 50% of those falls result in serious injury. Falls aren't just about losing balance. They often start with muscles weakened by sarcopenia. When your muscles lack the strength to keep you steady, every step becomes a risk. But here's the good news. Muscle loss isn't your destiny. Your muscles, even at 80 or 90, are still listening. They can grow stronger if you send the right signals. Those signals start with movement, not heavy gym workouts, but simple motions that fit your life. Try chair squats, holding the armrests if needed, and slowly standing up 10 times a day. Or use a light resistance band while watching the evening news. If you don't have equipment, grab 2 cans of soup or small water bottles and lift them while seated. A friend of mine, at 82, started lifting 500 milliliter water bottles in her kitchen daily, and after a few months, she said she could walk around the park without stopping to rest. These small changes don't just keep your muscles active, they keep your life yours. Nutrition plays a critical role too. Many think older adults need less protein, but the truth is the opposite. Your body is less efficient at using protein now, so you need more to maintain muscle. Experts recommend 68 to 82 grams of protein daily for a 150-pound woman. That could mean a boiled egg with whole grain toast for breakfast, a piece of salmon or chicken breast at lunch, and a cup of Greek yogurt or a protein shake in the evening. I met a woman at a community class who started adding a scoop of protein powder to her morning coffee, a small habit that helped her feel stronger climbing stairs. Don't forget vitamin D, especially if you spend less time in the sun. Vitamin D isn't just good for bones, it supports muscle function and balance. A study from Tufts University found that older adults with low vitamin D levels have a 20% higher risk of falling. Talk to your doctor about checking your vitamin D levels and whether a supplement might help. A friend of mine, after starting a doctor-recommended vitamin D supplement, noticed she could walk longer without feeling tired. Finally, if you notice it's harder to stand up, you're walking slower, or you're tired after climbing a few stairs, don't say, "Oh, it's just age." Instead, ask yourself, what can I do today to keep my strength for tomorrow? Because here's the truth. Aging will try to steal your strength, but you can take it back. Every small step you take today, A short exercise, a protein-rich meal, a call to your doctor is an investment in your independence. And trust me, you still have the power to do it. Truth number 3, ageism in healthcare. You walk into the doctor's office, sitting on the edge of the exam table, clutching a list of questions you spent all week preparing. You want to understand that persistent knee pain or the new medication your doctor prescribed. But then something happens. The doctor smiles, nods at you, but turns to your daughter, who came along with you, and starts explaining everything to her. You try to speak up, but your questions are interrupted, or worse, answered with a familiar line. At your age, we usually don't do that test. In that moment, you feel like you're fading away, as if you're no longer part of the conversation about your own health. This isn't your imagination. It's a harsh reality many women over 80 face, and it has a name: ageism in healthcare. Picture yourself in a busy clinic where the doctor has just 10 minutes per patient. Under that pressure, many fall back on assumptions instead of listening to your real story. They think, at her age, she probably doesn't want surgery, or that test isn't necessary, it won't change anything. But those assumptions aren't facts, they're shortcuts. And when doctors rely on your age instead of your health history, goals, or desires, you're not just overlooked, you're stripped of your right to make decisions about your own body. I once heard about a woman, 83 years old, who wanted to ask about a new treatment for her heart condition. But the doctor only spoke to her son, saying, "At your mom's age, we should focus on comfort." She didn't want comfort. She wanted to live, to understand her options. But her voice was ignored. A study from Yale University found that over 20% of people over 80 feel treated by doctors as if they're too old for aggressive care. This doesn't just hurt emotionally, it's dangerous. When you're not given full information or invited to join in medical decisions, you might miss chances to improve your health or extend your life. For example, a woman in a small town was told she didn't need a bone scan because, at your age, it doesn't matter much. The result? A year later, she suffered a fracture from undiagnosed osteoporosis, leading to a long hospital stay. If she had been heard, her story could have been different. So what can you do to reclaim your voice? First, ask powerful questions, ones that force the doctor to see you as an individual, not a number on an insurance card. A simple but effective question is, if I were 60, would your recommendation be different? This makes the doctor pause and consider whether they're relying on evidence or just your age. Second, demand clear explanations. Say, I want to understand all my options, both aggressive and conservative, so I can decide for myself. This not only helps you grasp the situation, but also reminds the doctor that you're still here, still in charge. If you feel dismissed, if the doctor talks over you, dodges your questions, or focuses only on your companion, you have the right to switch doctors. Yes, even at 85, you deserve care from someone who respects your voice. I know a woman who changed to a new doctor after years of feeling ignored. Her new doctor listened, answered every question, and helped her build a care plan that matched her goal of staying active. The result? She wasn't just healthier. She felt respected and seen. Healthcare isn't just about pills or tests. It's about trust, dignity, and knowing you still matter. You've lived through decades of change, from handwritten letters to video calls with your grandkids. You've raised families, overcome challenges, and adapted to things the younger generation can't imagine. The years on your insurance card don't define your worth. In the exam room, you deserve to be heard, seen, and treated as an individual with your own dreams and goals. So the next time you feel yourself becoming invisible, take a deep breath, ask your questions, and remind everyone that you're still here and you still matter. Number 4, cognitive decline. They say memory fades with age, like the pages of an old book slowly turning blank. But what if I told you that, even at 80, your brain can still learn, create, and stay sharp as ever? Cognitive decline isn't inevitable. While time may slow your thinking or make recalling an old friend's name take a few extra seconds, your brain remains a marvel, a living network ready to adapt if you give it a chance. But if you let your mind slip into mental retirement, stopping learning, stopping connecting, you might unknowingly let those incredible abilities quietly slip away. As you turn 80, your brain changes. Processing speed slows, and tasks like multitasking can feel like walking on a slippery path. You might need a moment to remember where you left your keys or find the name of a favorite movie suddenly gone from your mind. These moments can make you think, I'm losing my mind. But that's not true. Scientists at Harvard University have found that older adults who keep challenging their minds through reading, talking, or learning something new can maintain better memory, focus, and reasoning, even when brain scans show signs of aging. The secret lies in something called cognitive reserve, like a savings account your brain builds over years of learning, curiosity, and connection. Cognitive reserve is like a safety net. If one part of your brain slows down, another can step in as long as you keep it active. But here's the catch. Many people unintentionally let their minds rest too long. They stop reading new books, stop asking questions, and fall into a loop of identical days, watching the same TV show, eating the same breakfast, following the same routine. I once met a woman at a community center who said that after her husband passed, she stopped going to her book club because she felt too tired to try. Over time, she noticed she spoke less, laughed less, and felt her memory fogging up. It wasn't because she was aging, it was because her brain was starved of stimulation. The good news is you can change that today with small, meaningful steps. First, let your body help your brain. Walking for 30 minutes a day, whether around your garden or along a park path, can increase the size of your hippocampus, the brain region tied to memory. A study from the University of Pittsburgh found that older adults who walk regularly have 15% better memory than those who stay sedentary. A friend of mine, at 81, started walking to church every Sunday instead of driving. She says not only is her mind clearer, but she's also noticing new flowers blooming along the way that she never saw before. Second, talk, not just casual hellos, but real conversations. Share stories with your grandkids about your younger days, debate a news story you read, or simply call an old friend. These interactions spark brain regions tied to language, attention, and memory. I know a woman who started telling stories to her granddaughter over weekly video calls. She found she not only remembered old memories more clearly, but also felt closer to her family. Third, try something new, no matter how small. Learn to send a text on your smartphone. Write a short paragraph about your life. Maybe the story of the first time you met your partner. Or try painting a picture, even if it's just a messy sketch. When you challenge your brain with new tasks, you force it to build new connections, and those connections are key to keeping your mind sharp. A study from the University of California showed that older adults who learned a new skill, like using a tablet, had 20% better memory after 6 months. Finally, nourish your brain as you do your body. Nutrients like omega-3s, found in salmon or walnuts, and B vitamins in spinach or broccoli, are fuel for memory and focus. Staying hydrated matters too. Mild dehydration can reduce concentration by up to 10%, scientists say. A friend of mine started adding a handful of walnuts to her breakfast and drinking a tall glass of water each morning. She says her mind feels clearer, like a fog has lifted. Your brain never stops learning as long as you give it a chance. Don't let the pressure of age make you think you have to slow down or step back. You can still shine with new stories, new ideas, and a mind brimming with life. Truth number 5, social isolation. One day you look around and realize your world has become small, confined to a few familiar rooms. The living room with your old armchair, the kitchen where you brew your morning coffee, the bedroom where you read before bed. It doesn't happen all at once, it starts quietly. You stop driving at night because your eyes aren't as sharp, then you stop driving altogether. A close friend moves away, another passes on. The club you love shuts down for lack of members. Family visits grow further apart, and suddenly your days are quieter, too quiet. This is the reality of social isolation, a challenge many women over 80 face, and it can deeply affect your mind, heart, and body. Social isolation isn't just feeling lonely. It's the loss of connections that once made you feel part of something bigger, a community, a purpose. When you go out less, when conversations become rare, your world shrinks, and it's not just your mood that suffers. Scientists at the National Institute on Aging say chronic loneliness can raise the risk of depression, anxiety, and even cognitive decline. One striking study compared the impact of social isolation to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's how serious it is. But what makes this tricky is that depression in older adults doesn't always look like sadness. You might not cry or feel down. Instead, you might lose interest in things you once loved, sleep more, or feel your days blur together in a haze. I met a woman at a retirement community who used to organize weekly card games. But after a few friends passed away, she stopped inviting people over. She said she felt there was no reason to try anymore. Over time, she noticed she laughed less, spoke less, and even started forgetting small things like doctor's appointments. These symptoms are often mistaken for aging or even dementia, but in reality, her brain was simply craving the stimulation of social connection. But this isn't the end of the story. You have the power to widen your world again, one small step at a time. You don't need to throw a big party or travel far. Sometimes just saying yes to an invitation to a local event is a start. Many community centers now offer classes for older adults, painting, gentle yoga, or even smartphone basics. I know a woman who joined a painting class at 84, though she'd never held a brush before. She not only found joy in creating, but also made new friends who now call her regularly to chat. Volunteering is another powerful way to feel needed. You could read stories to kids at the local library, help shelve books, or write letters to soldiers far from home. A friend of mine started volunteering at an elementary school, reading to kindergartners each week. She says the sparkle in their eyes makes her feel she still matters, still belongs to the world. Technology, though intimidating at first, can be a bridge. Many libraries and community centers offer free classes on using smartphones or tablets. Once you get the hang of it, a video call with your grandkids or a short text to an old friend can brighten your whole day. I heard about a woman who learned to use Zoom to join an online prayer group. She said reconnecting with people who share her interests made her feel like she found herself again. Sometimes just a change of scenery can awaken your spirit. You don't need to go far. Visit a nearby park, sit in a cafe to hear the hum of conversation, or stroll through a farmer's market. New sounds, smells, and sights can spark your brain in ways daily routines can't. A friend of mine at 80 started visiting a small cafe every Saturday for tea and a newspaper. She says just hearing the clink of cups and the laughter around her makes her feel alive again. And if stepping out feels hard, if you feel shy, anxious, or unsure about fitting in, know that's perfectly normal. What matters is that you try, even with one small step, because if you don't actively keep your world open, it will quietly close. Not because you're unworthy, but because of the silence and stillness of repetitive days. You weren't meant to live in silence. You still have stories to share, smiles to give, and a place in this world. Turning 80 may bring challenges no one warned you about. Moments that make you feel your body weakening, your voice overlooked, or your world shrinking. But here's the most vital truth. No challenge can take away your power to live as your true self, with strength, clarity, and joy. Every day is a chance to choose how you face these realities, not by fighting aging, but by working with it, listening to your body, speaking up for yourself, and keeping your heart connected to the world. You've lived through decades of change, from the days of radio to the era of video calls with your grandkids. You've overcome challenges most can't imagine, from raising families to adapting to life's constant shifts. Those years have shaped a you that's strong, experienced, and invaluable. Don't let a number on a piece of paper define you. In every doctor's visit, every conversation, every step you take, you remain an essential part of this world. And your story, a tale of resilience, curiosity, and love for life, is still being written, one day at a time. So take action today. If you notice any signs that worry you, from a twinge in your body to a pang of loneliness in your soul, don't wait. Call your doctor. Talk to a loved one. Join a class. Send a text. Every small step you take is a declaration that you're still here, still vital, and still deserving of a full life. If today's insights touched your heart, give this video a thumbs up to let me know we're on this journey together. Share it with a friend, a family member, or anyone who might need a reminder that age is never a limit. And if you want to keep exploring ways to live healthier and more meaningfully, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We'll keep this story going together. Before we part, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments, share what in this video resonated with you most? A new idea, a lesson, or a moment that sparked your desire to act? Your stories are the greatest inspiration for us all. And if you have thoughts on how we can make future videos even more helpful, let me know. Your ideas will shape content that's more meaningful, deeper, and closer to you. Step into the sunshine, take a deep breath, and remember, you're still growing, still shining. I can't wait to see you in the next video.